Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, presents the South Union Township Sports Network. Today via tape delay from the Thomas Landman Field, the home of the Laurel Highlands High School boys baseball team. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs take on the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Morozak alongside Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupay, and welcome you aboard for today's high school baseball game. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiff-Bauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, I'm Brian Morozak with Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupay. We'll be back with the lineups for both teams after these messages.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
Many people unknowingly have chronic liver disease and discover it during routine blood testing. Possible causes include alcohol, hepatitis C, fatty liver, and iron overload. If left unchecked, this can lead to cirrhosis or severe liver scarring. Offer the latest testing and treatment for chronic liver disease. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Every person who's been injured, when they come in, has an expectation that their case is important, and it is to us. We take these cases very seriously.
So that experience that we have is unique also because we have experience in these communities, in Uniontown, in Washington, in Waynesburg, in these court systems.
You don't have to go to Pittsburgh to be represented by attorneys who don't know their way around your community.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Brian Morozak and Gary Frankhauser back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs hosting the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. High school baseball action here on WMBS, on the South Union Township Sports Network, and on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Gary has the batting lineup for Greater Latrobe. We'll hit here in the top half of the first inning.
Thank you, Brian. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 12, Isaac Eckert. Batting second and playing in left field, number 17, Connor Mondock. Batting third and playing center field, number 9, Griffin Clark. Designated hitter will be in the fourth spot. That's number 18, Ben Rafferty. He'll be batting for the catcher, Eric Sacchio. Batting in that fifth position, is Donnie Shimko. He's number 20, and he will wear number 5. Batting in the 6th position, I'm sorry, I missed one there. Andy Bradford is a pitcher, and he will bat for himself in that 5th position. In the 6th position is Donnie Shimko. Batting in the 7th position is Tato Barto. He's wearing number 16, and he plays first base. Batting in the 8th spot, number 2, Matthew Henderson, the second baseman. And rounding out that lineup in right field, number 6, Jake Bradish.
The Mustangs will have Tanner Minio in the left, Craig Lancaster in center, Evan Voighton in right. Around the horn, Nate Simkoski playing third, Travis Sankovic playing short. Josh Burns, the Mustangs' second baseman here today. Ian Edenfield playing first. The catcher is Chad Petrus, and the pitcher Dino Vecchiola, the sophomore, getting the start. This is his second start of the season. He's worked 5 innings, a 1-0 record, given up 4 hits, has yet to yield a run, has walked 5 and struck out 2. So pretty big spot here, Gary, for the sophomore.
But I think he can handle it. He's been very poised, as we've seen early in the season. He's played a lot of baseball. He's been around the bigger gentlemen, the higher age groups, all of his life. So he's stepped up a lot, and he's shown he has the ability. So we'll look for big things out of Vecchiola today.
Should be a fun one here this afternoon. Laurel Highlands taking on Greater Latrobe. We're back with the first pitch right after this on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Good luck to the Mustangs from the South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbar.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Welcome back. Brian Rozak along with Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay, simulcast today with the South Union Township Sports Network. We're just about ready for another fine game of high school baseball here at Tom Landman Field. Conditions could not be better. It looks like the grounds crew cut the grass today.
Yes.
Have the infield drug perfectly. Umpires have completed all of their duties at home plate with the captains, and on the mound for the Mustangs, Andino Vecchiola getting the nod. The left-handed sophomore will have a big task here today to keep up the 4-0 record for the Mustangs.
They tell me the first pitch is going to occur at 4:04 this afternoon. It's 81 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Time and temperature brought to you by Senior Life Uniontown as Vecchiola completes his final couple of warm-up tosses. And just unbelievable, Gary, the start the Mustangs have had, outscoring their opponents 59-4, sole possession of first place in the conference at 4-0, a game-and-a-half lead over both Gateway and Franklin Regional. Of course, the Mustangs will see the Gateway Gators on the road on Monday night.
Some pretty gaudy statistics for the Mustang bats there too, Brian.
Yeah, you look at guys like Travis Sankovic and Mason McManus both batting over 800 on the season. Sankovic batting 833. McManus through 4 games has already driven in 15 runs already this season.
That's pretty impressive, and they all seem to put the bat on the ball, which is key here in high school baseball. And from the pitching standpoint, you look for the pitchers to work quickly, throw strikes, limit the walks, and let your fielders make plays.
The Mustangs might have the most pitching depth of any team in the section, I think, this season. Tony and I were talking about that on the radio side on Wednesday.
A lot of position players can give you innings, which is a key thing.
And one of the areas we'll be watching again this afternoon, that we've been watching throughout the course of the season, even last year as well, the new WPIAL pitching rules that went into effect to start last season, limiting pitchers to 100 pitches in any given game.
We'll try to keep an unofficial account of those pitches here this afternoon, as stepping in and leading off for Greater Latrobe will be the shortstop, Isaac Eckert, stealing from Tony Anula. Hawks and Bucks here.
Yes, we'll have the Penguins later on tonight.
Yeah.
Eckert batting .286, 3 RBIs, Greater Latrobe Junior.
First pitch, low and inside in the dirt, blocked there by Chad Petrus, the Mustang catcher.
I mentioned this Greater Latrobe team won the WPIAL and the PIAA championship last year, but returned only 2 starters from that team.
Eckert batting from the right side, gets the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, little off-speed breaking pitch there by Vecchiola, had him way out in front.
Mustangs in the home whites today, trimmed in red numbers, little blue on the caps. Greater Latrobe, the away blacks, white numbers trimmed in orange.
Impressive crowd filtering in here at Tom Landman Field. 1-1 pitch on the way, and there's a pop-up in shallow right field. Looks like it's going to be in foul territory. Coming over and making the grab in foul territory was Evan Voighton.
A good job there by Evan. Winds blowing 5 to 10 miles an hour here this afternoon, maybe a couple of higher gusts. You mentioned the wind played a factor a little bit yesterday in Laurel Highlands' win over Thomas Jefferson.
It definitely did. It held some balls up in the outfield, and that very high sky, which we do have again here today, makes that ball difficult to see on the high fly balls to the outfield. So the home team has an advantage having played in that condition. First pitch to second batter Connor Mondock, high and outside, ball 1. He is the left fielder for Greater Latrobe.
Batting .368 with a homer and 4 RBIs.
1-0 pitch on the way, foul back.
What a temperature change, though, Gary, from Wednesday. It was about 50 degrees for the first pitch for Laurel Highlands' win over Woodland Hills on the road.
1-1 is the count. 1 out here, top of the first, just underway. Foul back, good fastball there by Vecchiola.
Sophomore looks very comfortable. We've seen a lot, especially on the TV side over the years, on the South Union Township Sports Network, playing in the Hark League. Solid player down there as well, and on many occasions has played up in age competition.
1-2 pitch, tantalizing curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3.
Nice little mix-up there from Dino Vecchiola. Just like that, 2 up, 2 down with Griffin Clark coming to the plates.
The center fielder for Greater Latrobe, wearing number 9, also batting from the right side.
.250 average, 2 RBIs for Clark so far this season. By the way, this top half of the first inning being brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy, located inside the Peachin Superfood Mart.
Jim Capuzzi in charge. First pitch high and inside, ball 1. Vecchiola slightly deliberate, but he'll pick up the pace. Ball inside, 2-0.
Mentioned you guys had a quick one yesterday, under 2 hours for Laurel Highlands and TJ.
A lot of quick innings on the defensive side for the Mustangs, putting up those 15 runs and scored the final 3 on a walk-off home run by Nate Zimkoski. Strike called on the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs.
A win here for Laurel Highlands. They'll really have them sitting pretty at this juncture of the season at 5-0 after 5 games. Right, entering play today, less than 2 weeks into the season, a 1.5 game lead over the competition.
Fastball foul back up on the hill to the right side toward the football field and track. Track action also happening here on the campus this afternoon.
A busy afternoon here at Laurel Highlands High School.
Two pitch, curveball. There's a ground out down to short, inside on the grass, throw over in time. Zimkoski to Edenfield to end the inning, 1-2-3. The Mustangs will get their chance right after this. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network and listening to WMBS.
Creditors calling you day and night? Your debt overwhelms you? Although you may feel that you're in a hopeless situation, Zebley, Mahalev & White can help. We're a full-service local bankruptcy firm that knows what a difficult time this is and what to do to help you get a fresh start. Call Zebley, Mahalev & White today for a free consultation. Your hometown bankruptcy firm. Call us today.
Don't borrow more money until you talk to Zebley, Mahalev & White.
Here we go with the bottom half of the first inning. The Mustangs looking to get something going here early. Greg Lancaster leading off, followed by Josh Burns, Travis Sankovic, Mason McManus, Ian Edenfield, Evan Voighton, Nate Simkoski, Chad Petrus, and Tan Erminio.
Defensively for Greater Latrobe, they'll have Connor Mondock out in the left, Griffin Clark in center, Jake Bradish in right. Donnie Shimko playing third, Isaac Eckerd playing short, Matt Henderson the second baseman, Tato Barton playing first, Andy Bradford pitching, and Eric Sakio is the catcher for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats here today.
Stepping in will be Greg Lancaster. Greg 1 for 4 yesterday. Single and scored a run in the third inning yesterday. Put the ball in play, though. He's a very good contact hitter.
5'8", 165 senior, batting .385 now for the season with 3 RBIs.
First pitch to him, high and inside, as Lancaster looked like he might want to try to lay one down.
Saw the Mustangs try a little small ball on Wednesday in our last radio broadcast against Woodland Hills.
That brings Shimko in close at third. Off-speed curveball catches the corner for a strike, 1-1.
This is the second start of the season for Bradford. Has worked twice in relief as well this year.
Curveball again inside corner as Lancaster ducked away, but it caught the corner for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And he's not factored in any decision. Worked 9 innings with a 2.33 ERA.
Next pitch foul back by Greg Lancaster, staying alive.
Given up 3 runs, all of them earned. Walked 7, struck out 6 so far this season.
1-2 pitch, misses outside and low. Evens the count, 2-2. Leadoff hitter for the Mustangs here in the bottom half of the first. No score. There's a one golfed off the grass, and picking it up was the pitcher Andy Bradford after he bobbled the first attempt. Stayed with it and does get Lancaster at first.
Ended up being a relatively close play, though, over at first. Certainly the throw there before Greg. I'll bring up Josh Burns.
Second baseman for the Mustangs. Curveball in for a strike. Looks like Bradford's going to be a steady diet of breaking balls to the Mustangs.
Seen a lot of that at least early on.
0-1. Breaking pitch again. Misses outside. 1-1.
This bottom half of the first inning being brought to you by Romeo's World Importing in Uniontown.
Wind picking up now, and it's blowing out to right field as we speak. Here's the pitch. Misses outside, 2 balls and a strike.
For some of the folks on the radio side, a little bit of a new look out here with the blue tarp around the fencing at Laurel Highlands High School Landman Field this season.
Curveball again in the dirt. 3-1 now. Josh Burns working the count in his favor, and that tarp really, I think, helps the batters. Makes a perfect batter's eye. Fastball on the outside corner, taken for a strike. 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Check swing, and they're going to say he went. Wow.
Close.
So that ball was in the dirt, and Josh caught chasing for the second out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Travis Sankovic.
Pitcher's very effective early on. And you look at Sankovic, his numbers on the season, 10 for 12 at the plate, an .833 average. 6 RBIs already for Sank.
And he'll hit the first pitch right at the first baseman. Short grounder picked up there by Tato Bartow, unassisted, and that'll do it for the Mustangs. No damage. After one, there's no score, and we'll be back with the top of the second on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Good luck to the Mustangs from the South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbar.
Back here at Laurel Highlands High School, Ben Rafferty, Andy Bradford, and Donnie Shimko due up in the top half of the second inning for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. Still scoreless. Greater Latrobe taking on Laurel Highlands. Mustangs entering play at 4-0 today. And here's a ground ball getting through on the left side underneath the glove of Nate Zimkoski. So Ben Rafferty on board here to start the top half of the second inning. Tough break there on the Mustang side, Gary.
I think we have to rule that a hit. That ball hit in the grass infield, and then as soon as it hit the dirt, it just kind of died and rolled out into left field. No chance there for Zimkoski.
The sophomore Rafferty has been one of the more consistent performers on this Greater Latrobe team so far this season, entering this game with a .385 average, and that'll help the cause. And now the pitcher Andy Bradford coming to the plate, batting .250 with 2 RBIs as Vecchiola's pitch, and a little bunt attempt there from Bradford sent foul on the far side. So the Wildcats trying to play a little small ball early on.
I think that's a pretty good idea on their part, knowing the prowess of the Mustang offense. They got to get runs any way they can.
And Laurel Highlands really hasn't been in a close game all season long. I mentioned they've outscored their opponents 59-4 so far this season. In fact, they still haven't even played a complete 7-inning game. And once again, Bradford showing bunt, pulling back, pitch rolled a ball, and then leaving up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, kind of unusual for a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first for the Mustangs.
Haven't seen much of that so far this season. In fact, Wednesday against Woodland Hills, they scored at least 1 run in every inning in that game. Of course, very productive at the plate yesterday as well against TJ, winning 15-3 as Vecchiola checking the runner Rafferty over at first. Had first slide back in there safely for Rafferty.
Scored in every inning yesterday too, Brian.
That snapped a pretty long streak, and of course they had plenty of success against McKeesport and Thomas Jefferson, or check that, McKeesport and Franklin Regional as well to start the season. Bunt laid down there by Bradford, going over to Vecchiola, throw over to first in time to Edenfield, so the sacrifice successful there for Bradford, advancing Rafferty down to second. That's our first out here of this top half of the second inning.
Good job there by Bradford. Just died it in the grass area, no chance for Vecchiola but to make the play at first.
Certainly a little bit of a slower infield here than what we saw on Wednesday on the artificial infield surface at Woodland Hills High School. This is already Laurel Highlands' 4th home game of the season. The game at Woodland Hills was their only away game so far this year. They'll hit the road again on Monday to Monroeville, taking on Gateway.
The crew does a great job getting this field in shape.
Donnie Shimko coming to the plate, the sophomore batting .200 on the season, playing third base today for the Wildcats with Rafferty in scoring position. Vecchiola's first pitch missing on the outside for ball 1. One thing that impresses me about Vecchiola, really seems comfortable out there, though. Doesn't seem to be fazed by much as a sophomore.
As we said in the pregame, he's very poised.
It'll look back at second. 1-0 pitch on the way, and that one also missing high. 2-0 now. Bradford to Shimko. Nice to have the scoreboard working out in the right field today. 2-0 pitch on the way. Swing, get a miss. A little off-speed pitch there. Again, very effective from Dino Vecchiola.
As the wind has shifted once again, now blowing straight out to center field.
Count 2-1, 1 out. Still a scoreless game, but Greater Latrobe threatening here in the top half of the second. 2-1 on the way, another breaking ball, and in there for a strike. And you actually had Shimko kind of back away from that one a little bit.
Kind of odd coming in from the left-hander, breaking into him, caught the corner.
Another good pitch from Vecchiola. Now the 2-2 to Donnie Shimko brings the heat. A little chin music there. Ball 3. And now we're full 3-2. Vecchiola now taking his time a little bit. Relaxed again out of the stretch. A little glance back over at Rafferty over at second. Delivers the payoff pitch. Fastball fouled back by Shimko.
Probably swung at ball 4 there. That ball looked a little bit high, but protecting the plate in there, Shimko.
I think he comes back with a breaking ball here. Seems to be his out pitch.
I think you're right.
3-2 again. Vecchiola making sure he has a good grip on the baseball. Another long look in. Glance back at second. Payoff pitch again on the way. Breaking ball just nubbed foul.
Just
Shimko
getting a little piece of that one.
Shimko doing a good job to stay alive.
Had him way out in front. You talked about, you heard maybe on the Pirates broadcast, what the pitcher's problems are in cold weather, not being able to get a good grip on the ball, having it a little bit slippery, but not a problem today.
No, for sure. Might have the opposite effect that you might have some sweat now on the baseball. Something we haven't had to worry about too much so far this season. By far the warmest day of calendar year 2018. Payoff pitch again, this time the fastball, and Shimko just looks at it. It's strike 3.
Froze him with that one. That was a good decision to come with the heat on the inside part of the plate. Shimko definitely guessing off speed.
Second backwards K in our scorebooks for Dino Vecchiola, and 2 up. Check that 3 up, but 2 down with Rafferty still at second. And Tato Barton at the plate. Barton, a senior. Only a second at bat of the season. Swing and a miss there. Counted 0-1. Playing first base today for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats. This half inning being brought to you by General Dentist Dr. Edward Wietek. Now the 0-1. Breaking ball popped up in the infield. Travis Sankovic getting underneath it. He'll back up and make the grab to end the inning. So the Wildcats end up leaving Rafferty stranded. We'll head to the bottom half of the second inning, still scoreless here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths. Signs include abdominal pain and rectal bleeding. Colon cancer develops from a degenerating benign growth or polyp. Doctors performing colonoscopy are able to remove precancerous polyps, thus preventing colon cancer. This saves lives, and the American Cancer Society now recommends that everyone have a colonoscopy every 10 years, beginning at age 50. Offer the latest diagnostic testing. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
McManus, a little ground ball here to shorts. Throw over to first in time. Welcome in the radio sign. Mason McManus grounding out there to Isaac Eckert on the first pitch attempt from Andy Bradford. And Bradford's really been effective so far in this game, Gary.
Sure has, with that off-speed breaking pitch that he has gone to almost exclusively.
Now Ian Edenfield coming to the plate. Takes the first pitch right at the knees for strike one.
More of a slider that time.
I'd bet that was the first time all season long that Sankovic and McManus have probably been retired back-to-back. Of course, Sankovic retired to end the first inning, and McManus retired to start the second. Both had entered the game, batting over 800 so far this season, and now Ian Edenfield with 2 strikes on him. Bradford working quickly, 0-2 pitch, a little one-hopper. Count moves to 1-2. Mentioned for Bradford already his 4th appearance of the season for Greater Latrobe. And he's been busy, and the Wildcats bringing their A game here today against the Mustangs, and Edenfield foul tipping that one, but then getting tagged out, so it goes in the books as a strikeout. Second of the game for Bradford, 2 up, 2 down now here in the bottom half of the second inning with Evan Voighton coming to the plate.
Mustangs so far off stride.
Especially for what we've seen so far this season. Voighton, a 6'3", 175 senior, batting .444, already 2 home runs on the season. Takes strike one here. Nate Simkoski hit one out yesterday against TJ. Voighton's home runs came out Woodland Hills on Wednesday. 0-1 from Bradford. Another one right down the pipe. 0-2 now to Evan Voighton.
Guess what? I gave them a tip. That's how it's funny.
Mixing in the fastball to Voighton.
And now Bradford set with the 0-2, and there for strike 3. So Evan Voighton looks at strike three in a quick 1-2-3, bottom half of the second inning. So after two, Laurel Highlands and Greater Latrobe scoreless here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WPIAL, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Just sit right down and you hear a tale of a fateful call. You better pay those bills right now or you take a mighty fall. He really didn't know what to do, so he turned to those who did. Zeppeli, Mahaloff, and White, your bankruptcy crew, your bankruptcy crew. So no matter how deep in debt you are, if your back's against the wall, Zeppeli, Mahaloff, and White, just give them a call.
Welcome back on the South Union Township Sports Network and WMBS. Top half of the third inning, no score. Both pitchers in control so far. Vecchiola to the leadoff man for Latrobe here in the inning, Matthew Henderson in the 8th spot of the lineup, followed by Jake Bradish and leadoff man Isaac Eckert. 0-1 pitch, just misses low, 1-1.
This half inning being brought to you by the Uniontown Hospital, making a healthy difference in the lives they touch.
Quick game so far. Neither team putting any runs on the board into the third inning. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch there by Vecchiola. Had Henderson out in front.
Henderson struggled at the plate so far this season without a hit in 10 at-bats.
1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a pop-up down the right side. Looks like it's going to be out of play over the bullpen, up onto the bank. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Both Vecchiola and Bradford working quickly, even between innings, not taking very many warm-up tosses.
Vecchiola winds and deals. There's a high fly ball to right field, right center, coming over to make the catch. In right field, Evan Voighton. So the high sky, not a problem there for Evan Voighton, but we saw it yesterday. 3 balls falling harmlessly to the grass, well, harmful on behalf of Thomas Jefferson, but in the favor of Laurel Highlands.
As you said, though,
you would usually catch.
As you said, though, I think it certainly favors Laurel Highlands, the fact they're used to this environment and play on this field on a regular basis.
First pitch to Jake Bradish is a fastball, fouled back to the screen for strike 1.
It's one of 3 games going on in the conference today. Albert Gallatin's at TJ. Franklin Regional at McKeesport. All daylight action in the conference today.
There's a ground ball in the hole and for a base hit between Zimkowski and Sankovic. So the 9th man in the order, Jake Bradish, with a base hit.
Bradish came into the game batting .333 and helping his average there, getting a 1-out single here in the top half of the third inning.
We'll bring up Isaac Eckert. Flew out to foul ball territory in right field, his first time up.
There'll also be one conference game tomorrow. Woodland Hills will play at Gateway at 12 noon start in Monroeville.
Not much of a lead over there at first. Curveball in the dirt, blocked nicely by Petrus. One ball, no strikes, one out. One man on here in the top of the third. No score. From the stretch, Vecchiola, ground ball to third. Could be two. Over to Burns for one. On to first. Safe.
No.
They called him off the bag.
Wow.
Edenfield with the stretch, but they say that he was off the bag. Probably would have been an out call.
I think so.
We'll have to give a fielder's choice on that play for Eckert. He's on at first. Out at second was Bradish from Zimkowski to Burns.
He's getting a lead runner there, keeping the Wildcats out of scoring position now with 2 outs here in the top half of the third. And Connor Mondock coming to the plate. And Mondock's been, along with Ben Rafferty, one of the more productive Wildcats so far this season, batting .368 with a homer and 4 RBIs.
Struck out in the first. Getting a bigger lead out there at first now is Bradish.
Don't be surprised if he runs here.
Step off and throw over by Vecchiola.
Especially being the leadoff hitter, I'm sure he has plenty of speed and wanting to get in a scoring position here with 2 outs in this half inning in what could be a very tight, low-scoring game today.
Here's a pitch, ground ball up the middle. Burns has it hit off the base and
wow,
hits him right in the chest.
Tough break there.
Slow roller up the middle, and that ball hit right off of second base and right up into the chest of Josh Burns. We'll have to rule that a hit.
Yeah, the Wildcats getting some of the breaks here today. We saw during Wednesday's Woodland Hills Laurel Highlands game how many breaks the Mustangs got. And so far here, the breaks going in Greater Latrobe's direction.
So 2 on and 2 outs for Griffin Clark. Grounded out to third his first time.
Clark batting .250 this season.
With a runner in scoring position. Curveball just comes in a little high. 1 ball, no strikes.
Clark does have 2 RBIs, and obviously the advantage for Laurel Highlands defensively. They can get a force out at any bag in the infield.
There's no doubt that Burns would have made that play. Shot up the middle again, and this is going to score a runner if possible. Lancaster with the throw in, and scoring will be.
And close at third there, too. I thought he might have been out there at third.
Eckert scoring from second on the play. Coming around to third was Connor Mondock. The throw went all the way through to Chad Petrus. Could not make a tag, and he threw down to Zimkowski at third, sliding in safely for the Greater Latrobe team was number 17, Connor Mondock, and also going down to second on the throw was Griffin Clark. Give him an RBI single.
Run scored for Isaac Eckert. And the Wildcats strike first. Since the first time all season, the Laurel Highlands has been behind in a game.
And now 2 runners in scoring position for the cleanup hitter, designated hitter Ben Rafferty. He singled down the third base line in the second inning.
Batting .385 this season.
Curveball high and outside for a ball.
Of course, you have runners at second and third now. Mondock down at third, Clark on second.
Vecchiola will work from the windup. 1-0 pitch. Misses outside, 2-0.
Mustangs came into the week the number 5 team in 5A this season. Greater Latrobe also ranked in the top 10 this week.
2-0 offering from Vecchiola. High and inside, so with first base open, being a little bit careful with Rafferty.
Wildcats coming in number 8 in 5A this week. Mars the number 1 team in the 5A classification.
Strike on the outside corner that time. Fastball.
Dino needed that pitch.
3-1. Bradford on deck. 3-1 pitch. And check swing, foul back, had him fooled. So the count runs full with 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Greater Latrobe with 1 run in the inning.
Shows us some of those breaks. Unfortunately, cost Laurel Highlands a run in this game. Actually aiding Latrobe with a run.
3-2 pitch, curveball, drived into center field. Lancaster coming over and makes the catch on the line drive in left center to end the inning. But Greater Latrobe does get on the board and takes a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the third. Mustangs coming to bat on the South Union Township Sports Network and WMBS.
Good luck to the Mustangs from the South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbar.
We're back for the bottom half of the third inning. Mustangs trailing now 1-0. On the mound for Greater Latrobe, Andy Bradford facing the minimum for the first two innings. 1, 2, 3 in both innings. Also has 3 strikeouts due up for the Mustangs, Imkoski, Petrus, and Arminio. You would say that that's the bottom of the lineup, but so far this season really hasn't been an effect for the Mustangs, as these bottom 3 have been pretty productive also.
Yeah, you look at the sophomore Imkoski batting .500 on the season, 7 RBIs, had a home run yesterday against TJ.
First pitch popped up here toward us, but that looks like it's going to be in play. And the third baseman making the catch there, Donnie Shimko, in the grass infield. So first pitch hitting, Imkoski easy out, pop up in the infield.
Bradford early on looking like he might have the Mustangs number here today.
Definitely caught that one out on the end of the bat. And that's going to bring up Chad Petrus.
Mustangs just have not been able to get it going here yet today. Petrus, a 5'11", 185 senior, batting .222 with 2 RBIs for Laurel Highlands this year.
Take strike one on the inside corner. Look like an off-speed. Another curveball. This one's dribbled down the third base line. That's going to be foul. Coming over to make the play, Donnie Shimko in foul territory, but now Petrus in the hole, 0-2.
Mentioned Bradford, a senior, and kind of tell he's been here before.
One of the returning players for Greater Latrobe. One of the few. 0-2 now to Chad. Curveball just misses inside.
It's such an impressive run, not only to win the WPIAL title a year ago, but also take the state crown as well.
1-2 high and outside, 2-2.
Wildcats defeating Mars in that WPIAL championship game. Played at Wild Things Park. And defeated Whitehall in the state championship game, played up at Penn State main campus.
2-2 pitch, grounded foul again outside third base.
They won the state title game 7-0. They were playing baseball last year till June 15th.
That's a long season.
Correct.
Almost as long as the NHL.
Yes. They probably had the Stanley game. 6 of the finals was probably around the same time last year.
Count remains 2-2. Petrus trying to get something going here for the Mustangs in the bottom of the third, trailing 1-0. That one hits Chad on the ankle.
Mustangs will take it.
Breaking pitch, not much velocity on that, so Chad not injured at all on that play, but he will go to the bench for the courtesy runner in the form of number 11. That's Alec McClay.
Mustangs' first base runner of the afternoon. This half inning being brought to you by Ted Silva and Sun Auto Repair on the Atlas Road in Hopwood.
That's going to bring up Tan Arminio wearing number 3, the left fielder for the Mustangs, with now The Mustangs' first runner on board.
Tan's been very productive so far this season, batting .600 with 6 RBIs, 6 foot, 165 senior.
Getting the signals from Coach DeBerry down here at third base.
Talking to Tan's dad, Bruce, before the start of the game. Tan, the youngest of 4 in the Arminio family.
Ball inside on the curveball. Bradford wanted that call. First opportunity for Bradford to pitch from the stretch. McClay with a modest lead over there at first base. Swing and a miss. Fastball by Arminio, 1-1.
It's interesting for Latrobe going back and looking at last year's playoff run, the number of close games they had. Defeated Montour in the quarterfinal round 4-3, 2-1 win over Char Valley. Also had a first-round state win over Manheim Central 5-4. And they go out and win the title game 7-0.
Throw over McClay, dives back safely.
Certainly a different mindset, though, when you're playing a best-of-1 instead of a best-of-7 series.
1-1 pitch. Throw over again to first base.
Not much margin of error out there either.
Worried about McClay over there at first.
Alec, plenty of speed. We saw him in a similar position on Wednesday against Woodland Hills.
Breaking pitch inside and low. 2-1 now to Tan Arminio.
Of course, McClay, very busy during the fall months, was a striker on the soccer team, also a kicker on the Laurel Highlands football team.
Arminio patient in there at the plate, waiting for a pitch as another throw over to first base. Not close.
So far, pretty good bounce back, though, for Greater Latrobe after that 8-1 loss against Gateway yesterday.
No doubt about that. Here's the pitch. Foul back.
McClay was running there, too.
Would have been a ball. That ball was low, but protecting the runner, I guess, was Tanner Minio, but McClay with a pretty good jump might have had that stolen.
2-2.
2-2, 1 out. Latrobe on top, 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. Swing and a miss. Off-speed curveball gets Arminio for the second out of the inning.
Okay, the 4th strikeout of the game for Andy Bradford.
Not overpowering. Good position and good use of that off-speed curveball.
Has done a nice job to pick his spot so far in this game.
Brings up Greg Lancaster, grounded back to the pitcher in the first. But McClay still over at first base. Throw back has him diving in safely.
We were talking to Scott DeBerry during the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show. He talked about the importance of the Mustangs picking their pitches as well, and he said he doesn't mind his guys taking a few, trying to build up the pitch count on the other side.
There's a shot up the middle. Can it get through? Yes, it does. Gets by the shortstop, and McClay will come to third base. I think that was a play that you would think that Isaac Eckert should make.
There wasn't a lot on that one.
That ball did not take a bad hop. It just kind of scooted underneath his glove, so we'll have to rule that an error.
Yeah, E6 for sure. Putting runners down the corners.
And a chance now for Josh Burns.
Josh trying to get his bat going a little bit. Entering this game, the .222 average, 3 RBIs.
From the stretch, good speed over at first in the form of Lancaster. Might see him take off. Curveball misses inside.
Josh had a pair of hits on Wednesday against Woodland Hills. Ended up scoring 2 runs in that game. Also walked against the Wolverines.
Yesterday was hit by a pitch and walked in 4 at-bats. There goes Lancaster, high and inside. Here's a throw through and cut off by the second baseman. That was Matthew Henderson cutting in front of second base. No chance to get Lancaster, so now 2 runners in scoring position.
Really big spot here with Burns at the plate, and then you have both Sankovic and McManus coming up next if Burns is able to get on board.
2-0 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Wow, that was close. 3-0 now. Burns will talk to Coach DeBerry as Sakio goes out to talk to Bradford. Does that count as a mound visit, Brian?
I would say no. But sometimes for a guy like Bradford, when you have guys on base, it kind of changes their tempo a little bit. He was really in a groove until the Mustangs were able to get Petrus on board after he was hit by a Bradford pitch.
3-0 pitch to Burns. He's taking all the way and does take strike one. So give Bradford credit. Comes back with a fastball knee high on the inside part of the plate.
What's Bradford's pitch count up to this half inning?
19 this inning. He only had 21 coming in. And it goes with the curveball, and Burns way out in front.
A nice job to work his way back. Count now full of 3-2.
Big spot here. Full count. Mustangs trailing 1-0. 2 runners on. Second and third. Burns at the plate. Here's the pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Bradford works his way out of it and does not allow the Mustangs to score in the third, and will go to the fourth with Greater Latrobe on top. 1-0 on the South Union Township Sports Network and WMBS.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
Southwestern Endoscopy Center is a state-licensed and Medicare-certified facility and emphasizes privacy, comfort, caring, and safety for colonoscopies and upper GI endoscopies. Painless procedures are done with twilight sedation given by a board-certified anesthesiologist. The center accepts most insurance plans and is staffed by Doctors Ruthhart, Calabrese, Stokes, SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, moving to the top half of the fourth inning. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs trailing the Greater Latrobe Wildcats 1-0. Brian Morozak alongside Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay here on the South Union TV side. Nick Barczyk back in our Uniontown Hospital studios for WMBS Radio. Also on the Triple Live High School Sports Network today as well. So on multiple outlets here today, Gary.
Worldwide.
You'll have Andy Bradford, Donnie Shimko, and Tato Barton due up this half inning for the Greater Latrobe Wildcats, who played it a run in the top half of the third inning. Dino Vecchiola still on the hill for Laurel Highlands. First pitch in there for a strike to Andy Bradford. Bradford sacrificing to advance Ben Rafferty back in the second inning with a bunt. Now behind 0-1, Vecchiola's next pitch, fastball in there for a strike right at the knees, quickly 0-2.
Nice sacrifice bunt back in the second inning, but it did not result in any damage in that inning. But Greater Latrobe taking advantage.
0-2, little nubber here to short. Stankovic is there. Hard throw over to first in time to Edenfield to retire Bradford 6-3 for the first outs of this top half of the fourth inning.
Nice play there by Stankovic, going to his left, almost behind second base. Smoothly up with the glove and strong throw over to Edenfield for the out.
This half inning being brought to you by the Republic Food Enterprise Center, the Fayette County Community Action Agency, with Donnie Shimko, the sophomore, coming to the plate, entering the game with a 200 average. Struck out looking back in the second inning. Vecchiola's first pitch here to Shimko, and a hard hit ball deep to center field, backing up as Lancaster, making the grab for the second out of the inning. Good job there from Greg Lancaster.
Good jump. That was absolutely a well hit ball. Thought for a moment it might be near the fence, but good jump there by Greg Lancaster. Went straight back and made the catch.
And now Tato Barton will come to the plate. 2 up, 2 down so far. Barton popped up to Travis Stankovic back in the second inning. Actually ended the top half of the second inning. Now getting some instruction from Matt Bassiano, Greater Latrobe's head coach. And the Wildcats entering play today, 3-3 overall, 2-2 in the conference, currently occupying the fourth and final playoff spot in Section 3-5A. Vecchiola's first pitch here on the inside to Tato Barton, 1-0.
Like to see Dino Vecchiola get out of this inning with minimal pitches.
Maybe preserve him for later on in the game. That one skipping away as the count moves to 2-0.
Unofficially, we have him at 52 pitches, 46 in the first 3, just 6 this inning so far with 2 outs.
Just past the midway point of this game as far as the Mustangs defensively. Now the 2-0 to O'Barton. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Had O'Barton off balance there.
That's an effective pitch.
Got out 2-1. Early on, it really seems like that's his out pitch. That's what he likes to go to when he's in a jam. 2-1 here, breaking ball again. Did it catch the corner? Yes, it did, and we're at 2-2.
I think he called that a swinging strike, too.
There wasn't much movement there from O'Barton.
Kind of moved to get out of the way, and his bat followed him.
2-2 on the way, and O'Barton popping this one up. Greg Lancaster now charging on shallow center field, and Lancaster makes the grab for the third out of the inning. So 1-2-3, top half of the fourth. Still 1-0. Greater Latrobe over Laurel Highlands as we move to the bottom of the fourth here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank, where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Down to the bottom half of the fourth inning, the Mustangs with Travis Sankovic, Mason McManus, and Ian Edenfield due up. The meat of the Mustangs order, still looking for their first run of the afternoon. Came into this game with 59 runs scored through 4 games. And so far this afternoon, Gary, they've yet to muster a hit. Had a couple of base runners back in the third inning. Chad Petrus hit by a pitch. Greg Lancaster reaching via an error, but without a hit in the book so far. The Mustangs a little activity now in their bullpen as well.
Andy Bradford making a bid for Player of the Week here.
I would think so. It was effective so far this season coming into this game and shut the Mustangs down so far here today, but missing on his first pitch here to Travis Sankovic on the outside. Sanko lefty. Grounded out, 3 unassisted back in the first inning. And takes the 1-0 pitch low for ball 2.
Need base runners.
For sure. And Bradford didn't seem quite as comfortable when the Mustangs had runners on base last inning, and that one fouled off by Sankovic. Count out 2-1. Can you tell down there, Gary, who's warming up for Laurel Highlands? 2-1 pitch, missing low, now 3-1.
Trying to get a look down there. I can't really tell.
I'm gonna have the binoculars in the back.
Might be Lancaster.
3-1 pitch on the way to Sankovic, and Sankovic a rope here deep to right. Look out, this ball over the wall and gone, and we're knotted up at 1. Boy, the Mustangs needed a hit, and they got one there as Sankovic sends it over the right field wall. His first home run of the season to tie this game up at 1.
Brian, that was a frozen rope as it went out over the right field wall on a line shot off the scoreboard, I believe, or right
Actually,
under
I think it went right underneath the scoreboard over the fence.
Well, that thing had to come off the bat at about 105 miles an hour.
A great hit there for Travis Sankovic to knot things up at 1. Now with Mason McManus coming to the plate. First pitch to Mason, a one-hopper in there for ball 1.
That was Greg Lancaster out there. He is Greg Lancaster out there warming up. Thanks to Jerry zooming in.
Next pitch to McManus, and there for a strike. He should be here 1-1 on
that's correct.
Scoreboard now corrects itself. 1-1 on the way. McManus swing and a miss there when chasing the low one there from Bradford. And a whole new game right now with Sankovic homering over the right field wall. 4th team home run of the season for Laurel Highlands. All coming this week.
No dimensions down there, but I believe that's about 325 down the line.
With a carry, probably 360, 365 maybe on the home run. Maybe a little more than that. We haven't brought the stick out yet. 2-2 now. Bradford to McManus. A little one-hopper.
Good hold there by McManus, not to chase. That slow curveball just looks like a balloon coming in there and just drops off the table.
Here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Mason McManus. Breaking ball. Mason sends it on the ground and through on the left side. McManus will hold it first. Play made out there by Connor Mondock out on the left. It's on the relay in to Isaac Eckerd for the Mustangs with McManus now on first. Still nobody out here as we work on the bottom half of the 4th inning with Ian Edenfield coming to the plate.
Good at bat there by Mason McManus, battling that curveball. Just waited on it just enough to get the barrel of the bat on it and drive it through the hole. It's short.
Bradford now a little look over at first. Edenfield showing bunts. Pitch rolled in there for a strike, 0-1. Not too many times you ever see Ian Edenfield scoring around a bunt.
I was just going to say that. I'm not sure how much he's practiced that. It looked like he squared around perfectly, just did not get the bat on the ball.
I think he let him swing away here.
Nope.
Nice showing bunt again. Lays it down, but sends it foul. Now Edenfield in an 0-2 hole.
Definitely be swinging away now.
Edenfield entered play today, a 308 average, 5 RBIs, but struck out swinging in his lone plate appearance today back in the second inning. Set to go now. Bradford, another look over at McManus. Delivers the 0-2 pitch, and Edenfield, a well-hit ball to left center field, and unable to come up with it out there is Connor Mondock. Mondock, a diving attempt out there in the left. Unable to make the grab. I think you have to give Edenfield a hit there. The Mustangs with runners on first and second. Still nobody else with Evan Voighton coming to the plate.
Just out of the reach of Connor Mondock. Made a gallant effort to pull that in, but just off the end of his glove into left center field. Mustangs in business.
With Evan Voighton coming to the plate, we mentioned Voighton, a pair of home runs on Wednesday against Woodland Hills, and with the wind blowing out a little bit to right field, maybe another opportune spot, but he's going to show bunts, and the pitch in there for a strike, 0-1.
Mustangs unable to put that bunt down. 3 attempts now here so far. I like the call, though. Nobody out.
Boynton came into the game a 444 average, showing bunt again, lays it down this time back to Bradford.
Nobody covering
the bag, and everybody's safe. Wow. How about that? Boynton lays down the bunt, and nobody covers the bag, and the Mustangs have the bases loaded, still with nobody out, and Nate Simkoski coming to the plate.
How do you rule that, Brian? Error on the second base?
I would think so, because he should be covering in that situation. Should have been a routine out over at first.
That loads him up.
And for Greater Latrobe's defense, I mean, granted, a lot of new faces in there this season, but that's a play you got to make.
Absolutely, but you do rule that as a sacrifice for Voighton, so he does not have an at-bat.
But still
an error.
Yeah, defensive mistake there for Greater Latrobe. Now they bring the whole infield in. A little discussion now with this game knotted up at 1, nobody out. And Nate Simkoski, the sophomore, homered yesterday against Thomas Jefferson, coming to the plate, popped up to third baseman Donnie Shimko to start the third inning. He's the fifth. The Mustang are ready to bat here in the bottom half of the fourth. Now Andy Bradford certainly in some trouble.
Wind is definitely blowing out to right field.
Simkoski swinging at the first pitch, and it gets through on the right side. This will likely score 2 for Laurel Highlands. And the ball coming in, but no play at the plate. The Mustangs scoring Mason McManus and Ian Edenfield. A 2 RBI single for Nate Simkoski, and the Mustangs now up 3-1.
First pitch hitting just drove it between first and second. And no chance for the right fielder out there, Jake Bradish, to make a play at the plate. Edenfield coming around to score the second RBI. 3 runs in now for the Mustangs.
Boy, how things have changed here in this half inning. Bottom half of the fourth. Chad Petrus now the 6th Mustang to bat. Still nobody out. It'll throw over to first, and Simkoski back safely. Leaves Simkoski on first, Voighton on third. Runners on the corners with Chad Petrus at the plate. Petrus was hit by a pitch back in the third inning.
Give credit to Evan Voighton getting around to third base on that play also.
First pitch here to Petrus, a little one-hopper, and you just tell Bradford not as comfortable as he was to start the game.
Mustangs took a while to adjust to the non-power pitcher.
They've adjusted quite well here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Another check over at Simkoski, another head first slide back.
Nobody out. Good position here to possibly try to steal second base.
That's the problem if you're Greater Latrobe. This game could be slipping away very quickly here if the Mustangs put up a crooked number. Now Simkoski showing bunt, pulls back, runner going down to check that. Petrus showing bunt, pulls back, and Simkoski moves down to second safely. No throw.
So a bunt steal puts runners now at second and third, nobody out.
Simkoski at second, Voighton at third. Next pitch to Petrus, missing low again, and the count at 3-0. That last pitch, even though Petrus was showing bunt, he pulled back, and it was low as well. Now a 3-0 count here to Chad Petrus. Bradford delivers fastball right down the pipe for a strike, 3-1. Wildcats needed that pitch.
Chad just needs to put it in play somewhere. Latrobe not bringing the infield up other than at first base.
3-1 now on the way to Petrus. Breaking ball, missing low and outside for ball 4. And that'll load up the bases for Tanner Minio. Minio struck out swinging back in the 3rd inning, but entered this game with a .600 average and 6 RBIs. He's the 7th Mustang to bat here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, and still nobody out, Gary.
22 pitches in the inning. Has him up around 64 for the first 4 innings.
The Mustangs now up 2 at 3-1. 3 already across here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Now Tanner Minio walking to the plate this half inning, being brought to you by the Thomas M. Dolphy Funeral Home of Uniontown.
Nobody warming for Latrobe.
Still putting it on Bradford's shoulders. It's been a busy week for both of these teams. 3rd game of the week. And that pitch from Bradford to Minio in there for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Bradford now long looking to Sakio. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball. This one missing. Low and outside, even up the count at 1-1. Brian Morozak alongside Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupay. Nick Barchak on the radio side back in our Uniontown Hospital studios. 1-1 now. Bradford to Minio, little check swing. He went around, or the pitch was in there for a strike, one or the other. It's 1-2. I think Minio getting some clarification whether it was ruled a strike on the pitch or whether the home plate umpire ruled he went around.
Same result either way.
Now 1-2. Bradford to Minio, and Tan staying alive, fouling it off.
Big play in the inning was the bunt by Evan Voighton that Greater Latrobe did not play correctly, resulting in nobody making an out, and the Mustangs in big business.
Now 1-2 again. Bradford to Minio. Mustangs up 3-1. Pitch on the way. It's 10 in the back. And that'll bring in a run. So an RBI hit by pitch scores Evan Voighton for the 4th Mustang run scored in this half inning. And Minio picks up an RBI.
Took one for the team there.
Yes, for sure.
Right in the middle of his number 3.
We saw on Wednesday one of the Woodland Hills players, Korf, actually ducked out of the way of a ball that was behind his back, but the ball hit his bat and deflected into fair territory. And the Mustangs got defensive out that way.
Wow.
Something you don't see every day. The coach was pretty livid. They didn't bring the bat down in that situation. Now they're going to bring the entire infield in here, and they're also going to bring out Matt Bassiano, Greater Latrobe's head coach. That's going to be it. We're going to have a pitching change on the Wildcats side. 4-1, Laurel Highlands leads. We're back in a moment here on WMBS and on the South Union Township Sports Network. Back here at Laurel Highlands High School, the Greater Latrobe Wildcats, after yielding 4 runs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, making a pitching change, bringing in Jake Bradish, and Gary will tell you all about him.
Jake, coming in from right field, has pitched in 9 innings, 4 appearances for Jake. He has 12 strikeouts to just 3 walks and a 3.889 earned run average. So impressive in his outing so far here in the 2018 season.
And the Wildcats counting on Jake to try to keep him in this game right now. Still nobody out with the bases loaded for Laurel Highlands. Greg Lancaster, the 8th Mustang to bat here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, takes strike 1 now from Bradish.
Greg did not like that call.
Now it looked a little low. 3rd plate appearance of the game for Lancaster. Bradish now from the stretch, clean look at 3rd, delivers, and Lancaster went chasing in that one, but it got away from Sakio, and the Mustangs will send Nate Zimkoski to the plate, and Zimkoski scores on the plate. It's 5-1 Laurel Highlands. Mustangs also advance runners down to 2nd and 3rd as Tanner Minio moves to 2nd and Chad Petrus to 3rd.
Lancaster took a swing at that ball, was in the dirt, probably a foot in front of the home plate. And that's why Sakio could not control it. Went back to the screen and kind of careened around back there. No chance to make a play at the plate.
It's another big break there for Laurel Highlands. Lancaster now with 2 strikes on him. Counted 0-2. As Bradish delivers the next pitch, a breaking ball. This is another one-hopper. That time Sakio did a nice job to keep that ball in front of him.
And it looks like Bradish is more of the same. Off-speed curveballs. That's all he's shown to Lancaster in the first 3 pitches.
Now the 1-2. Breaking ball, another one-hopper. Once again, Sakio doing a good job to keep it in front of him.
Latrobe brings the infield all the way in, trying to cut off any play at the plate.
It's been a costly inning for the Wildcats. 5 already across. 2-2 on the way, and that one again low. And that'll make the count full of 3-2. And now Sakio will come out and have a little chat here with Jake Bradish. What's the mindset right now on the Wildcats?
Well, they got to be a little shell-shocked here when it looked like they were going to be able to bring the shut down the Mustangs. Bradford coming in just facing the minimum in the first 2 innings, just 5 batters in the third, and there's another hit up the middle.
3-2 getting past Bradish, but backed up by the shortstop. High throw over to first, but getting back down in the bag was Tato Barton to retire Lancaster, as Isaac Eckert did a nice job to back up that play after the deflection off of Jake Bradish.
1-6-3.
Correct. Retire Lancaster for the first out of the inning.
The benefit of having the infield up pays off for Latrobe that time.
Now Josh Burns will come to the plate. That's the first out of the inning. Burns 0 for 2, pair of strikeouts so far in this contest. For the first time he's facing Bradish. And he takes strike 1 here. Burns the 9th Mustang to bat here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. 5 runs already across for Laurel Highlands. Runners on 2nd and 3rd now with 1 out. And the infield still in for the Wildcats.
Need to get something in the outfield here.
No 1 on the way, and Burns sends it in that direction in the gap to right center. It'll drop it and then plug right in front of Andy Bradford. That'll score another pair of runs for the Mustangs. As both Tanner Mineo and the courtesy runner, who was actually McLay for Petrus, come around to score, and it's 7-1 Laurel Highlands. 7 runs scored here in this bottom half of the 4th inning. So give Burns 2 RBIs on that hit into right center field.
Exactly what you're looking for. Just put it in play out there beyond that pulled in infield, and that ball just hit and plugged, as you said. Still a little damp out there in the outfield, and easily allowing McClay to come in to score.
Looked like one of your wedge shots out there, Gary.
I can't get that much backspin on any of my shots.
Travis Sankovic now at the plate, rips one down the right field line. Here's Burns rounding second on his way to third. Relay coming in from Bradford, and they'll hold Burns up at third. Stand-up double for Travis Sankovic.
Second big hit of the inning for Travis Sankovic. Started things off with that line drive home run, and that ball was hit just as hard down the right field line for a 2-base hit for Sankovic, moving Burns around to third.
This has been a long bottom half of the 4th inning. Dino Vecchiola might need some extra warm-up time with the way the Mustang bats have been, as Mason McManus, the 11th Mustang to bat here in the bottom half of the 4th inning with runners on 2nd and 3rd. Still only 1 out. Jake Bradish, the 2nd Latrobe pitcher of the inning. Little one-hopper again here, blocked by Eric Sakio. The way things went here in the early innings, you thought you might have a tight 2-1 game coming right down to the wire, but Laurel Highlands finally getting the bats going, figuring out this Wildcats pitching here in the 4th inning, and they now lead by 6, trying to keep it going, and McManus, another shot getting through here on the left side. This will score another pair of Mustang runs as both Sankovic and Burns score on the play. Have the throw getting away, and that will allow McManus to advance down to second. Wow.
Same kind of hit that Mason McManus had his last at-bats. He just waits on that curveball and drives it in the hole between short and third, and that slow outfield allows Sankovic to come around easily to score that run. 2 more on the board, 9-1 Mustangs.
And that's now 17 RBIs on the season for Mason McManus. Laurel Highlands has scored 9 runs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Sankovic to himself.
Correct. And I have Ian Edenfield at the plate. Ian 1 for 2 with a run scored so far in this game. And takes ball 1.
And last time he was up there bunting before he got a base hit.
Well, this game has turned around here in the last 15 minutes. And Eric Sacchio coming out to talk to pitcher Jake Bradish.
Covering their mouth. They didn't want our TV to read their lips, I guess.
And Jerry zoomed in extra tight on the TV side. Hard to get anything past them. Of course, these two teams will play again later on in the season at Greater Latrobe under the lights. A game on April the 30th on Monday nights.
Nice complex down there in Latrobe.
We've been down there a couple of times. Last time the two teams were in the same conference. I think we worked a game down there together, Gary.
We did. My college roommate was behind the plate umpiring.
Yes.
Greg Fenton.
2-0 now to Edenfield. That went in there for a strike, 2-1. Have a couple of teams in this conference with lights at their facility. Gateway and Greater Latrobe.
Uniontown.
Uniontown, too, you're right. Playing down at Hutchinson and Hopwood. They have a lot of 6 o'clock starts this season. And there's Edenfield, another rope. This one to right center will drop in. McManus rounding third. He's on his way to the plate. And it's 10-1 now. Laurel Highlands over Greater Latrobe.
Wow. What a breakout.
All in 1 inning.
That's the 2nd run for McManus scoring in the inning.
And Evan Voigt will be the 13th Mustang to bat here in this half inning. What a way to get the weekend started for Laurel Highlands.
And Evan was the individual who sacrificed bunted and did not result in an out.
And you talk about some of those small plays sometimes coming back with large end results, and that was certainly the case on the Greater Latrobe side here in the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Edenfield, good speed for a big man out there, might take off also.
Next pitch to Voigt, and this one popped up. See if it stays in play on the right side in front of the Mustang dugouts. It'll hit the dugout roof. And you're not allowed to play it off the roof here.
Edenfield did. He's on first base, and that ball bounced right to him. Made a nice catch.
Can't use the boards here like indoor soccer. More hockey, which we'll have later on tonight on the radio side. Game 2, Pens and Flyers.
Trap game for the Pens tonight, Brian?
Well, you had the 7-0 win in Game 1. I expect it to be a lot closer. I don't think it's going to be quite as easy for the Penguins this evening. And here's Voigt, and another rope on the right side. Bouncing in front of Andy Bradford. The Mustangs just holding station here, and Edenfield will hold it second. So they'll give runners on first and second for Laurel Highlands. And the Mustangs now with 5 straight hits. The only out of the inning was recorded on that odd 1-6-3 play that actually went off of Branish, picked up by Eckerd over to O'Barton, and that was even close on a high throw that came in.
15th batter to the plate, Brian?
Let's see, 9
14.
plus 4, and then this will be 5, yeah, for 14. Need the calculator to add the number of batters here in this half inning. That's where you know when things have kind of gotten away from you a little bit.
Really not that many pitches for Bradish. Only 18 pitches since he's come on to relieve Bradford.
Now you have Zimkowski deep in the batter's box. There's Bradish again out of the stretch. Next pitch on the way, just nub foul. The other odd thing is, Gary, you can end up having a 5-inning game here again. The lead's at 9 right now. And if you have the Wildcats batting in the top of the 5th, if you would be able to get it to 10, that would be it.
10-1 now, only a 9-run lead. So you're right.
Next pitch to Zimkowski, low.
Just 1 out.
You can sense a little frustration on the Wildcats side as well. Really, we're in this game until this half inning. They led coming into this half inning and have given up 10 runs. 1-1 now to Zimkoski, low and outside. And now 2-1.
Seems that things are just compounding in favor of the Mustangs and against Greater Latrobe.
And in the early innings, look like the Wildcats are going to get a lot of the breaks here today. Not the case. 2-1 now to Zimkoski. Going off the plate as well. Now 3-1. Nice day to sit outside and enjoy the sunshine. We're right above the visitors' dugout down the third baseline. 3-1 pitch on the way, low for ball 4. That'll load up the bases again.
Now 15th batter to the plate.
Correct. That'll be Chad Petrus, and he might have another pitching change here. Infield coming in, and that might be it for Bradish. With Laurel Highlands leading 10-1. We'll take a quick timeout here on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network and the WPIAL High School Sports Network. Back here at Laurel Highlands High School, the Mustangs have scored 10 runs here in this bottom half of the 4th inning. Tucker Knupp will be the 3rd Greater Latrobe pitcher in this half inning as well, and his first pitch in there for a strike to Chad Petrus. Tell us a little bit about Tucker Knupp, Gary.
Not much action on the hill for Tucker, just 1 inning, and has 1 strikeout, 1 walk, no ERA, so that's good. But this just his 2nd appearance.
0-1 here to Petrus. Finds the strike zone again, 0-2, and that's Knupp. K-N-U-P-P. K-N-U-P-P, Tucker Knupp. Had 0-2 here against Chad Petrus. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. And Petrus will number here to first. Latrobe's going to come home. That'll be a force out getting Ian Edenfield here. The base is loaded.
So fielder's choice for Chad with a 2nd out.
Correct. As the Wildcats get the lead runner, that'll bring up Tanner Minio. Our friends at the WPIAL High School Sports Network partners with Excella Health. Excella Health knows the importance that shoulders, knees, and ankles are to an athlete, whether you're on the gridiron, under the boards, or walking on a balance beam. Being on the sidelines is never an option. Excella Health has a trusted team of orthopedic surgeons and athletic trainers in Westmoreland County. To learn more, visit excellahealth.org. Now Tanner Minio at the plate. First pitch from Knupp to Minio. Did it clip him?
It did. That's his 2nd hit by pitch in the
RBI.
inning. His 2nd RBI. Wow.
And that will score. Let's go back here on the scoring.
Boynton
coming around to score. And you'll have Greg Lancaster. And Lancaster will be the 17th Mustang to bat here in this half inning. Is that right?
Yep. 1, 2.
Yep, 17th.
17th. This is his 2nd at bat in the inning. If we go 2 more, that'll be 3 at bats for Sankovic.
Wow. And the lead now at 10. Knupp's first pitch here on the inside, almost hitting Lancaster, 1-0. The importance now, Gary, you have a 10-run lead for Laurel Highlands. If the Mustangs are able to retire Greater Latrobe without the Wildcats scoring any runs in the top half of the 5th inning, that's it. The game will end at that point. 1-0 pitch now to Lancaster, fouled back.
Very familiar to the Mustangs. All of their games have been less than 7.
Correct. Laurel Highlands has not played a full 7-inning game all season. You'd have to think, though, that at some point you want to at least play 7 innings just to get in some of the reps. Obviously, it saves your pitching. But still, it'd be nice to go the distance, I would think, just to play a little baseball.
Well, you're not going to take it any other way.
Oh, I'm sure. Lancaster fouling off another one. Yeah, you don't want to just give up a run to give up a run, and then Latrobe rallies back. I think that happened in a Laurel Highlands, Indiana game years ago. Not that they purposely allowed a team back in, but I think you had another double-digit inning, which they got the Mustangs back in a game against Indiana. That one hopping there to Lancaster. Got now 2-2. 2 outs finally after the Mustangs have played at 11 runs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. A 2-2 pitch now from Tucker Nupp to Greg Lancaster, and Lancaster ground ball here to short. Should have been a routine play, but Isaac Eckert loses the handle, and that's E6. Another run scores for Laurel Highlands as Nate Zimkoski comes across.
That's going to bring up Josh Burns.
The 18th Mustang to bat here in the bottom half of the 4th. It's now 12-1 Laurel Highlands.
Running out of space on my scorecard here.
Nupp's first pitch here to Burns, and Burns sending this one deep to right, and that'll be over the head of Andy Bradford. And this could clear the bases. Burns into second, stand-up double, scoring 3 on the play. So Lancaster, Petrus, and Erminio all score. And that's now 15-1.
And Travis Sankovic will get his 3rd at-bat of the inning.
Wow. And Burns has 4 RBIs. Now check that, 5 RBIs here in the 4th inning.
Wow.
And you have Sankovic batting here in the 4th for the 3rd time. The Mustangs scoring 15 here in the bottom of the 4th. It's the most runs, Gary. We've been doing games for a long time. I remember a team plating in a single inning in high school baseball.
I can't remember anything more than this. It's very impressive. Mustangs just putting the bat on the ball. Vader Latrobe contributing somewhat.
I still give the Mustangs a lot of credit. We'll step off here from Tucker Nupp. Just have Burns on second.
Shell-shocked like the Philadelphia goaltenders.
Yes. On Wednesday night. Now the 1-0 here to Sankovic. Breaking ball missing low and outside. Had a couple of Latrobe fans come over before the start of this game asking what the Mustangs' record was. I said 4-0. They said, well, they haven't played Gateway yet. I think we can probably take you guys today. I said, that's fine. It's 15-1 right now, so. Just saying. 2-0 pitch now to Travis Sankovic. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Good breaking ball there from Tucker Nupp.
You're right, though, Brian. You would like to get into some games where you have some tense moments to make sure that you can maintain your poise and maintain your concentration in situations where it's needed much more.
Another pitch missing low there. We see that a lot in all sports, though. You have a situation where you roll through all these games, and then sometimes you get into the playoffs and you have a tight game, and sometimes it can backfire on you, having all these blowout wins. But still, you can't complain. You're 15-1, and the Mustangs now have scored, 74 runs now in 5 games this season.
30 in the last 2 days.
Correct. And there's a walk issued to Travis Sankovic. He's now homered once in the inning, double to right field, so he successfully reached base, I guess you could say. So the 3rd straight time this inning.
Going to be upset because he was only 2 for 3.
Yes. They have Mason McManus coming to the plate. McManus now the 20th Mustang to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and that's not a misspoken word at all. 20 Mustangs have batted here in this half inning. Tony Hanula said, tight game. Can I have an update? I guess he missed it.
Tell him to turn his radio on.
I guess he's up somewhere where he can't listen.
Hey, he has a phone.
Tony will be with me next Friday at Franklin Regional, unless your schedule clears up, Gary. The Mustangs and Franklin Regional Panthers. You and I will be together again on Wednesday for Laurel Highlands and Albert Gallatin as that ball goes foul. That'll be here at Laurel Highlands High School. Another simulcast, both on the radio and TV side.
And Albert Gallatin surprised the Mustangs last year.
Correct. Laurel Highlands really went on a funk right after that South Carolina trip last year. They're a different team coming back from down south, and actually had a 4-game stretch where they scored only 2 runs in a 4-game period, and that was pretty much it for their season. Went 9-10, missed the WPIAL playoffs for the first time since 2013. No 2-pitch here, high and inside to Mason McManus. McManus 2 for 3 so far in this game. 2 runs already scored here in the 4th inning. 1-2 pitch now on the way, and McManus fouls it back.
Waited on that again nicely, just sits back. That breaking pitch comes in. He was right on it, but fouled it back to the screen.
Count remains 1-2. Wind picking up a little bit. And up's the next pitch to McManus. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning, but the Mustangs score 15 runs. They lead 15-1 over Greater Latrobe as we move to the top half of the 5th. Here on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Latrobe Live High School Sports Network, the Radcliffe Firm High School Sports Day.
15 runs for the bottom of the 4th inning.
Creditors calling you day and night? Your debt overwhelms you? Although you may feel that you're in a hopeless situation, Zebley, Mahalev & White can help. We're a full-service local bankruptcy firm that knows what a difficult time this is and what to do to help you get a fresh start. Call Zebley, Mahalev & White today for a free consultation. Your hometown bankruptcy firm. Call us today.
Don't borrow more money until you talk to Zebley, Mahalev & White.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Welcome back for the top half of the 5th inning. Mustangs exploding for 15 runs in the bottom half of the 4th.
On 10 hits.
10 hits, a couple errors by Greater Latrobe, but the barrage of hits really displaying the Mustangs' offensive prowess, especially Travis Sankovic with the home run double and a walk and 3 at-bats in 1 inning.
They sent 20 men to the plate.
And Dino Vecchiola back out on the hill to face number 2, and that's Matthew Henderson. Flew out to right in his 1 at-bat. Now 2-0
this afternoon.
on Henderson.
This afternoon may be brought to you by Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, helping local people with their legal matters since 1976, regardless of your legal problem. Davis & Davis promises you personalized, friendly hometown service.
Ground ball towards third, takes a big hop into left field, so base hit leadoff for Matthew Henderson.
Don't count the Wildcats out yet, Gary.
No way.
Anything can happen.
That's going to bring up...
Yeah, pinch hitter here.
No, that's
a pitcher. Yeah,
that's
you're right.
Tucker,
You're right.
Knupp,
Tucker Knupp,
who came in for Bradish's spot.
So Knupp was the 3rd pitcher of the bottom of the 4th inning for Greater Latrobe.
Throw over to first there by Vecchiola, trying to keep Henderson honest.
And Knupp has only 1 plate appearance so far this season, struck out in his lone plate appearance. Has had a lot of time at the plate.
Right-handed hitter. Ground ball to third. Up with it. On to second for 1. Over to first. Double play.
Wow. 5-4-3.
Zimkoski to Burns to Edenfield. He races that leadoff hit. 2 outs quickly in the inning for Dino Vecchioli.
That could be it.
Vecchiola.
I mean,
Well, could be. One more.
Final out possibly here.
Stepping in, the leadoff hitter, Isaac Eckert. Lasted opportunity for the Wildcats. Flew out to right and on a fielder's choice. His 2 at-bats. Scored the only run for the Wildcats.
A couple of other sponsors they probably won't get to inning-wise today. NovaCare Rehabilitation, Ford of Uniontown. Thank them for their support as well here today.
There's a pop-up in the infield going over in the foul territory. Edenfield coming back in, makes the catch.
Wow.
With a roll backwards as that ball blew back into play in foul territory. Ian Edenfield making the catch to end the game.
That'll do it, 15-1.
Yeah, no runs for Latrobe here in the top of the fifth. 15-1. Mustangs, another 10-run rule game for the Mustangs, moved their record to 5-0. We'll be back here on the South Union Township Sports Network and WMBS to wrap things up.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
In any endeavor, experience is probably the most important factor, but it's got to be the right kind of experience. Experience in the community where the case is tried, where the jurors live, where the judges work. We've been doing this since 1976 at Davis & Davis. That's a long time.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
Back here at Laurel Highlands High School, wrapping things up on our Mamarukas Pizza postgame show, brought to you by Mamarukas Pizza on Barton Mill Road in Uniontown. The Latrobe Wildcats came into the bottom of the fourth inning, Gary, with a 1-0 lead over Laurel Highlands. The Mustangs, to that point in the game, did not have a hit. And you leave the bottom of the fourth inning with Laurel Highlands up 15-1.
Sent 20 players to the plate in the fourth inning, and as we said on the air during the game, I do not recall ever seeing that in the high school games that we've been doing over the years, but that was really impressive. And it's all started with the home run by Travis Sankovic, line shot that cleared the fence in right field by no more than a couple feet. And from there, it just kept going and going and going. And finishing up the game with Josh Burns with 5 RBIs, 2 for 4. Travis Sankovic, 2 for 3. Mason McManus, 2 for 4. Ian Edenfield, 2 for 3. Evan Voighton, 1 for 2. Nate Zimkowski, 1 for 2. And Tanner Minio with 2 RBIs getting hit twice at the plate. So, and all those hits in one inning. So the Mustangs plate 15 in the fourth, hold down the fort with Dino Vecchiola at the on the mound, doing a nice job in his appearance as a sophomore, holding Greater Latrobe to 5 hits. Each 5 players for Latrobe, each with 1 hit. Mondock, Clark, Rafferty, Henderson, and Bradish. And that was it for the 5-inning game once again here for the Mustangs. And you have some numbers there that are pretty amazing as to how the Mustangs have outscored their opponents, Brian.
Yeah, you look so far this season now, Laurel Highlands has outscored their opponents 74-5 in just 5 games played so far this season. 74 runs put up, 5 runs yielded. That means they're only giving up a run a game, and they're scoring close to 15 runs a game.
30 in the last 2 days, 15 in each of the last 2 days. So the Mustangs have a successful week with a win at Woodland Hills, win against Thomas Jefferson, and a win against Greater Latrobe. Next week they'll be facing a couple formidable opponents, we would think, in Gateway and Franklin Regional.
Correct,
so
and also have a Wednesday
Gallatin
game against Albert Gallatin. You never know, the rivalry factor exists there. And Albert Gallatin, a much-improved program. Ron Popovich coaching the Colonials again this season, and they're always strong. And the AG game on Wednesday will be both our next radio and TV game. That'll be a 4 o'clock first pitch. We're on the air on the radio side at 3:45, and, of course, also on the South Union Township Sports Network, Atlantic Broadband Channel 17, Armstrong Channel 61, also up on the YouTube page. And yesterday's game will actually be on TV Sunday night. Tonight's game will be on Wednesday night on both Atlantic Broadband and Armstrong Cable.
That's correct.
And, of course, you can always follow the TV broadcast as well on YouTube. And we also have to thank our friends at the Centers for Rehab Services. Luckily, no injuries here today. If you happen to get banged up, give Jim Burns a call, located on Wayland Smith Drive, 724-437-7500. The Centers for Rehab Services, relief is closer than you think. We're back with a final word from Laurel Highlands High School right after this on the Mamarukas postgame show on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Back here at Tom Lamon Field on the campus of Laurel Highlands. This afternoon's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture with Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, and everyone at CUTV, including Gary Smith and his staff. This has been Brian Rozak, Gary Frankhauser, and Jerry Dupay. Another South Union Township Sports Network presentation. Our final once again, Laurel Highlands 15, Greater Latrobe 1. Good night, everyone.